energetic, joshful students, all set for NSEP exam. Now, obviously, at the last moment, when there are only few weeks left, we are going to practice a lot of PYQs. So today we are going to solve a few questions on particle mechanics. So my name is Bhavdeep Sethi. I have been converting physics haters into physics lovers. And as much as a book lover I am, I always say nature is the best textbook for physics out there. So go out in nature, explore nature, you will learn physics. There's no spoon feeding in this session as always. So I'm not going to give you the question and the solution. You have to solve them yourself. I'm going to teach you the concept. I'm going to get you started and I'm going to motivate you to solve them yourself. Exam is on 24th of November. So few weeks left and 8:30 a.m. early in the morning, right? So the very first question here, beautiful question. So a particle moves along the x-axis, the velocity of the particle as a function of x. V as a function of x is given. They're saying if f is the instantaneous acceleration, find the velocity as a function of f. So velocity as a function of position is given. You have to find velocity as a function of acceleration. Now looking at this equation, obviously we look at this as v as a function of x. So we know x has to go, acceleration has to come in. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. So the first thing that we are going to do is find the derivative on both sides. So using the chain rule here, I get 2v. So I get 2v dv by dt. Right, that's the left hand side is equal to, now dv by dt is our f, is equal to 12 dx by dt. Now dx by dt is the velocity, so 12v is what I get here, minus 3x cubed. Now using the chain rule, I get this as 9x squared. So I get it as 9x squared times dx by dt, that is again v. Now you can clearly see this v gets crossed out. That's beauty of this. So now we have an expression in x and f. So let's rewrite this equation. And what I'm getting here is 2 times of f is equal to 12 minus 9x squared. See, they have given you velocity as a function of x. You have the relation between f and x. You can find x, like you can find x from this. So x is coming out to be, so let's rewrite this. So x squared is equal to 2f, or 12 minus 2f rather, 12 minus 2f divided by 9. So one way to do this question is basically you find the square root on both sides. You get x is equal to square root of 12 minus 2f by 9. Take that value and plug it in here. You are done. It's over. But chances are very high that, first of all, if this was a multiple choice question, it's not going to have the option with a square root. Secondly, the point is having square roots is not visually like clear. I mean, functions, I try to personally avoid square root, and so does everybody. So let's try not to do that. Think about, this is x squared. Now this is x and this is x cubed. Factor out x. So what you get here? So you get v squared is equal to, if I factor out 3x from this, so you have 3x. And then you have 4 minus x squared. See how beautifully you have x squared here. You have x squared here. But what about this x? You can square this also. You can square both sides. So then you have x squared here, you have x squared here, you can plug in this beautiful number there and you'll get v to the power of 4, and then you take the fourth root of that. That is your solution. And this is where I encourage you, you proceed further and solve this. So just take this value of x squared, plug it in here, and then, so because this, see, this becomes v to the power 4 is equal to 9x squared, you have x squared here, and then you will have 4 minus x squared whole square. Do not expand this. Don't expand this. Just plug it in there. You will see the things will get simplified anyways. A train of mass m traveling with a constant power p is observed to attain a speed v naught at a certain instant of time. It has a velocity of v naught. Good. Okay. The air resistance to the train is proportional to its velocity. It is air drag. It has to be proportional to velocity, and that is kx or kv. Sorry, my bad. Kv. Find the time taken and the distance traveled by the train to double the speed. They want v naught to become 2v naught. Assume that any other friction is negligible. Okay. Let's draw a beautiful train here. I'm not an artist, but yeah, what a beautiful train. So let's say this is a train. Now, definitely there is an air drag, assuming the thing is moving in this direction. There is an air drag here, which is kV, assuming the velocity of this was v. But then there is a power being delivered by the engine. I know power is equal to force times velocity. So force times velocity. So how much is the force over there? That force is P divided by V. So there is a PV force here, the P divided by V force here, and KV force backwards. This is the situation. Now they're saying this V naught, kind of this right now it is V naught, it has to become 2V. Now tell us the story. Okay, we'll start with the very basic function that we have, the very basic equation or the very basic equation coming from the second law. The net force is mass times acceleration. So net force is P over V minus kV. That is the net force should be equal to mass times acceleration. Now this acceleration doesn't fit here because now you're introducing another variable. Let's get rid of this. So let's say I don't want this. I'm looking for dv by dt, isn't it? Dv by dt. Perfect. So now I have velocity time expression. They're saying make the velocity from v naught to v naught. What is the time? You can just rearrange all this. So this becomes p minus kv square over v. You arrange all this, so you get dt is equal to mv over p minus kv square dv. Wow. Okay. So how much time will it take from V naught to 2V naught? Piece of cake for you. So let's say I start my watch now at time 0, and how much time would it have elapsed while the velocity becomes from V naught to 2V naught? This side will give you t, right? T minus 0 is t. And this is you can substitute this for some value, let's say u, and do the derivative. What you're going to get is T is equal to, now you get this as minus 1 over k. So minus m over k, and because this is v, you can use the substitution. You get log of p minus kv square, and that is your answer. P minus kv square. And then you put the limits of v naught to 2v naught. Obviously, you are going to plug in first 2v naught and then minus v naught, but then you have to take care of that negative sign also. And that's how you solve this question. I highly encourage you. It's Indian Physics Olympiad. This is not even NSEP question. It is INPHO question. Students, while you're solving NSEP questions, it's worthwhile to spend some time on INPHO questions also. They are higher level questions. They clear your concepts and you're going to score better in NSEP exam. Again, NI लिख दिया. So INPHO 2007. A block of mass M is placed on a smooth horizontal surface. Smooth means there is no friction. Good to know. So there is a block of mass M. Okay. A force making an angle of theta with the horizontal. Okay. Starts to act on the block. The magnitude of the force is constant. Beautiful situation. Force is 2 MB, as in the number of newtons do not change. But what changes is they're saying the force remains constant, as in the magnitude remains the constant, but the direction keeps changing as theta is equal to A plus BS. So when position was 0, angle theta was A, position changes to some value S, it becomes A plus BS, and continuously it is changing. Find the velocity of the block as a function of angle. Okay. So if this angle was force F, let's say this was F and this was theta. First of all, I know I have to find velocity as a function of theta. So I want to find velocity. How do I find velocity? I know forces, I know mass, I know acceleration. So I don't use this F, I use F cos theta. So I can start with the very basic thing where I say F cos theta is equal to mass times acceleration. Now, what is force? Force is 2 MB newtons, right? So I direction is changing, but the value remains the same. So I can say 2 MB. Now, cos of what? Cos of theta. But theta is a variable. It is A plus BS. It changes with the position. is equal to mass times acceleration. Now there are too many variables here. First of all, this mass crosses out. So let's wipe out this mass here, this mass here. I'll rewrite all this. This becomes 2 times acceleration. See, I have to find velocity as a function of theta. So I don't want this a. So then I can say, okay, let me put it as a is dv by dt. But then I have too many variables here because I have this position here, then velocity here, this time here. I don't want this time because velocity and position or position and theta are related. So I just need this thing and this t. Using chain rule, you know that dv by dt can also be written as v dv by ds. Perfect. So now we have v and then we have s, two variables here. So bring this here, dv by ds, my bad. dv by so you bring this here. So what you have is 2b cos of a plus bs ds is equal to v dv. Okay. Find the velocity as a function of theta. So first of all, I have to integrate here. So what are the limits here? So starting with 0, I reach a position s. Starting with the velocity of 0, I reach the velocity of v. Now 2b is a constant. I take it out. So what I get on the left hand side is 2b as a constant. And then what is the integration of this? This is sine a plus bs divided by b. So what I'll get is sine a plus bs divided by b. But then now hold on. I have to put in the limits. I'll put the limits of 0 to s is equal to, on the right hand side, you get v square by 2. You plug in v and then 0, you get v square by 2. So let it be v square by 2. Now this b and this b would cross out. You plug in s here, then you plug in 0. So what you get is 2 times sine a plus bs minus, you plug in 0, this becomes 0, sine a is equal to v square by 2. Now they're saying, okay, find the velocity as a function of theta. Isn't this theta a plus bs? So you can just remove this and write theta for this. So this is your answer. You multiply 2 here, you take a square root, you have velocity, or you have the velocity as a function of theta. Indian Physics Olympiad, that should boost your confidence. Students, you're preparing for NSEP and I know you're going to crack it. You're going to make it into the final round. You're going to the international stage also. So this question should be boosting your confidence. Okay. The next question here is, a particle starts from point A, moves along a straight line path with an again, Indian Physics Olympiad 2004. Come on. This is too good. So a particle starts from point A, moves along a straight line path with an acceleration given by A equals P minus QX, where P and Q are constant and X is the distance from point A. The particle stops at point B. Find the maximum velocity of the particle and the distance AB. So the story here looks like, okay, there is a particle at point A and then there's particle at point B. It is at rest here, velocity is 0 and the velocity is 0. It starts with an acceleration p minus qx. So think about it, when x is 0. So we are not just solving questions, we are understanding the whole concept here. Go in depth. What's happening here? When x is 0, acceleration is p. It's a positive acceleration, so starts increasing the velocity. But as x increases, think about p minus qx would reduce. At some point, that acceleration would become 0 because p would become equal to qx, or qx would become equal to p. That time acceleration is 0. And then any further, x would become larger, so qx will become more than p, and this will become negative acceleration. So starts with 0 velocity, faster, 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 and the 0 acceleration, then retardation, slow, 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 stop. That's exactly what is happening. So now what they're asking you is, how much is the distance AB and what is the maximum velocity there? So let's start. A is equal to P minus QX. Maximum velocity is when acceleration is 0. For V max, acceleration should have been 0. So that gives me x is equal to p by q. This is the position here where acceleration is maximum. Oh, so acceleration is zero and velocity is maximum. We will find it. They're asking us to find the maximum velocity, but at least we know where it is. Okay. Now say how much is the distance? So a is equal to p minus qx. So I can write it as dv by dt, right? Or d. So that is dv by dt. I can write dv by dt is equal to p minus qx. But then I have too many variables and I don't like it. So I want to get rid of this t. Again, I can use the chain rule here. I can say that is same as writing v dv by dx is this much. And then you take the dx on the other side. What you get here is, I need some room here. So let me rewrite here. So v dv is equal to p minus qx dx. This is what you have. Now you can integrate both sides. What you get on the left hand side is v square by 2 is equal to px minus qx squared. Okay. Qx squared by 2. Qx squared by 2. Right. So px minus qx squared by 2. Now they're saying what is the distance AB, as in what is the position when the velocity again becomes zero? That's it stops here. It was addressed here. They're saying how much is AB? How much is AB is when velocity is zero. So you plug in zero here. So you say 0 is equal to px minus qx squared by 2. Now notice one very interesting fact what you're getting from here. So let me and from here I'm going to this step. I'm saying, okay, if I factor out x here, I get x p minus q by 2 x is 0. This is what you get. So what are you getting? You're getting either x is equal to 0, so you're getting x is equal to 0, or x is equal to 2p by q. So there are two positions where velocity is 0. Obviously velocity is 0 when x is 0, but also velocity is 0 when x is equal to 2p by q. That is your answer to finding the distance AB. Distance AB is 2p by q. Now how much is the maximum velocity? You already know velocity here. This is the velocity. This is the equation of velocity. You take this value of x, you plug it in here, and that will give you the velocity. I highly encourage you. This is Indian Physics Olympiad question. Solve it. Solve it. Please solve it. Perfect. This is how you get confidence. You solve past year questions, and we'll be solving more of these. If you like this session, please spread out the word, tell your friends about it. Now, if you need more practice with a paid course, there's a course that we are starting on Tuesday, upcoming Tuesday. It's called NSEP Achievers, the final lap. The course is going to start on 8th of October and it will go on till 23rd of November. There will be 15 live classes of 1.5 hours each, where we are not going to do theory. We are going to complete the full 11th and 12th syllabus via these PYQs. So the price is only 2222, but you can apply this coupon BS Pro and you get 10% discount. So you pay only 19.99. Now, if you're interested in a full long-term course, which is going to go until next November, maybe you're targeting next NSEP, then we have full physics mastery 2025. Some modules have already been completed, so you will not pay the fee for those, but you get the free recordings of those. Everything is in the link down here, and I will see you soon, because I talk less about myself and courses. I talk more about physics. So click on the links below. You will get all the information there. Now, whether you're joining the paid courses or not, you keep up the high Josh. I know you're going to do it. So bye students. Take care. See you soon.